I'd write like number one or circle number one. And after we read the question, we're going to figure that out. So a store manager has 224 pairs of jeans to stock on the store shelves. If each shelf can hold 18 pairs of jeans, how many shelves does the manager need to stock all the pairs of jeans? So if we go back and look at what it's asking for, what you need to find, you generally go right to the question and it tells you that. Can you say that in your own words, or can you just tell me the part?
Well, how many times can, or wait, if the shelves can hold 18 pairs of jeans, how many shelves will it take to get all 224 pairs of jeans on the shelves?
Yeah, so without using numbers though, you can actually say something like the number of shelves to store the jeans. Okay, and I'm not referring to a specific number of shelves or jeans or pairs or anything like that. I got an extra N there. But the point is that you want to say a sentence. So it's got to be, it's like somebody, imagine someone asks you, they say, August, what do you need to find? This is the answer: the number of shelves to store the jeans.
Yeah.
So it's like a question and an answer. So the question is, what do you need to find? Okay, and then the answer is the number of shelves to store the jeans. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, so that's part one. Part two, if we go back and look at it, it says, draw a model or picture to get you thinking. Okay. And that's not really applicable here, but you will get problems where you do need to draw a picture. Now, maybe you've been to a clothing store recently. Sometimes they have, drawers where you can imagine, you've got clothes on the shelf kind of thing. I think your instructor wants something here though. And I think that's one of the reasons maybe you've been losing credit on your quizzes and tests. So some sort of a picture, you might say that's a shelf. Those are your jeans, something like that. Now, are you an artist? Do you like drawing? Do you like art class?
Not really.
Yeah, I'm not big either into that, but I can do something here. And that's what your teacher wants, something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now for number three, and this is probably already in your notes, it says, write an equation and solve. Write an equation and solve. So an equation always has an equal sign.
Yeah.
Okay. So the equation is, in this problem, is it's the jeans per shelf. Well, this is where I think she wants the numbers. So there's the jeans per shelf times the number of shelves equals the total number of jeans. So this first one was like jeans per shelf, which we don't know. This is the, I'm sorry, we do know that this is the number of shelves. And then this is the total number of jeans. So you should be able to, from the problem, fill in this information here. So you've got that in front of you. There's 18 jeans per shelf. There's 224 total. Let's call this X.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you need to write all this out, the words, but you definitely need something that says 18 times X equals 224.
And this is going to be a division or multiplication?
Well, that's where I think this is going to be more confusing for you. Is it's a division problem, okay? But you solve this equation, and I don't know if you've seen these equations before. I mean, we haven't together. You solve this equation by dividing. Okay. And that's where we have to use this long division. So let's do it over 18 into 224. So tell me how to start here whenever you get caught up on this.
Okay. How many times can 18 go into 22? Can go in one time.
Okay, great. And then you multiply 1 times 18 and subtract. What do you get when you subtract?
Hang on. You would get 4.
44, right? Because you bring the other 4 down.
Yeah.
And then it's the same question. How many times does 18 go into
44.
44? So we know that 18 times 1 is 18. What is 18 times 2?
18 times 2 is
So double 8. What's
36?
36? Good. And then 18 times 3, you can either go ahead.
What are you gonna say?
Well, I was going to just say you could either add 18 to the previous number, or you can take 3 times 18, 3 times 10, add them together.
Yeah, I guess so. Guys, calm down. It would be. Wait, hang on. Would it be 64 or 54?
Yeah, it's one of those. And that's where this is probably where you're struggling the most. I'm gonna probably suggest that to your mom that we work a little bit more on this around the side. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 10 is 30. They add together and make 54.
54.
Okay. And it's super important that you get that. But in this case, it might not have made much of a difference because you're going to still put 2 in this position. 2 times 18 is 36. You subtract and have a remainder of 8.
Yeah.
Now, the problem here is that this is where I would actually want to ask your teacher. Maybe you could ask your teacher tomorrow and say, like, this is the solution, 12 with a remainder of 8, but it's not the answer to this question. Okay, because you need to increase the shelves. You need to go up 1 more shelf. So the answer is you need 13 shelves. Okay, because they obviously wouldn't all fit. So I don't know where to put that, but we're gonna go to part 4, and we're gonna go up and look at what it says. But it says here to check yourself using the inverse. I guess that's where we're checking. So we're gonna do 12 times 18. Right, these two numbers multiplied together, and then add the remainder. So go ahead and give that a try, please.
Okay. Okay. No. That would be one. Would it be 216?
Okay, so 8 times 2 is 6. Carry the 1. 9. Put a 0 there. 1, 2. Yeah,
Yeah.
216. And then you add the 8 to get 224. Now, this is somewhere where you have to say 13 shelves are needed.
Yeah.
And then you might want to say but that's kind of 5. I mean, this is where it's a little unclear. Maybe you can look at your notes, because 5 says to label your answer. So 5 is like 13 shelves.
Yeah.
And that, so yeah, there's some really good things here about this 5-step process, but we don't want to get too caught up in them.
Yeah.
You know, if we're not sure. So let's see, we did that one. You can look at that one later. We should go to the rounding page, because I don't think that you and I have done this yet, and just see where you're at
Yeah.
on this. Is that okay?
Mhm.
All right, so I'm looking at number 3. Number
Yeah,
3
I
is
don't really know.
okay. All right, yeah. So there's a lot here. Let's actually, we actually want to start from the bottom here. So let's pretend like none of these are here. Okay.
Okay.
So to go to the nearest 10, you actually, we start at the bottom. The tens position is a 7. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here are the options. It either goes to 2970, okay, or it goes to 2980.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's that when it says nearest 10, that means there's a 0 in the ones position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you look at this 3. Do you remember the rounding rules for rounding rules?
Anything above 5, and it'll be that, like, for that it'll be up. Yeah. And
Yes. So this rounds down, and then oops, I wrote too many. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 round up. Okay, so what should it round to with the nearest 10?
70, so 2970.
Yes, because it rounds down. So 2970. Now maybe you had the right answer there. It doesn't really matter. Okay, now we're going to look at the 100. Okay, and actually, you know what I'm going to do here? That won't help you. I'm going to reposition this. Okay. All right, and let me, yeah, so just ignore that. Okay, so when we look at the 100, okay, so you look at this number here, 29, and you're either going to go down, okay, or you're going to go up to the next 100. So if you're not sure how to do that, it's like adding 100. So do you see how that goes up to 21,000? You can sit there and add 100 if you need to, but those are our two options. This is rounding down, and this is rounding up, and you look at the tens position.
Yeah, and that would be higher, so it'd be rounding up.
So you got that one right, it looks like.
Yeah.
So notice when you round down, you keep the number and just put zeros to the right of it. And then rounding up, you just add whatever like direction you're going with that. Okay, so now let's look at 1,000.
I know
Okay.
these probably aren't right, but
Well, let's just follow this path I'm showing you. So 0, so there's a 0 there. So you're either going to 20,000, that's rounding down.
yeah.
Or to go up, you're going to add 1,000 to it, because it tells you 1,000. So that's 21,000. Now, sometimes, wait a second. Sometimes there's some overlap. Yeah. And that can happen. I think that's why this was chosen. So you look at the 9, and that tells you the answer. Do you round up or down?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Probably rounding up.
You round up, so it's 21,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Are you ready? Are you ready to move on to 10,000?
Yep.
So same thing again. You look at the digit in that position. So when you want 10,000, you look at that 10,000's position. Okay. And then you put zeros to the right of it. but this time you're going to add 10,000 to it to get 30,000. So 20,000 is rounding down, 30,000 is rounding up.
Yeah,
Okay, and then you look at the digit to the right of it.
that's a 0.
So does that round up or down?
I round down.
So there's your number, 20,000. So you actually had that one right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do another one here. And this is it's once you get it, you'll be fine. You'll just know how to do all of these, but we should spend at least another few minutes working on this one. So again, let's start at the bottom here at the 10.
Okay.
So the 10 is the 6. Do you agree with
Yeah.
that? So it's
Yeah.
either 81060 or what's the other one?
It would be 8070.
81070.
Yeah, 8107.
Yes, good, because you're adding 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you look at the 5. Does it round up or
It
down?
rounds up. Yeah.
So what do I put here?
81,700 or
Okay.
70.
Yeah. So we could actually spend a bit of time talking about how to label these. But let's not do that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so now let's look at the 100. So now we're going to look at and I'll let me grab this, get rid of these. Okay, so we're going to look at that 0. So it's 81,000 because that's 0 there, and then we're adding 100 to it, 81,100.
Yeah.
And then you look at the 6. Do you go up or down with that?
You go up.
Go up, so it'd be 81,100. Now, some instructors are really particular about commas. I guess I would be too, but you just do your best there to be in compliance with what they want on that. Okay, so now let's do 1,000. Okay. So the 1 is in the thousands position, so that's 81,000. Again, sometimes there's overlap, but then we're going to add 1,000 to it.
Yeah.
So that's 82,000.
Yeah.
And then we look at the 0. Does that round up or down?
Down.
Down. So it's 81,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So try the 10,000 on your own, please.
Mhm.
See if you can tell me the right answer.
Would it be 81,000?
It is, yeah. All right. Now, in some ways, you can guess and get a lot of these right because, you're. But let's try one that's not too difficult here. So this one I think is slightly easier than the one we just did. It's number 4. So I'd like you to try that one, but I want to limit your time here to about 2 minutes because I want to make sure we get to maybe one other topic during this lesson.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little weird. That initial.
Okay. Wait. Oh.
Start with the 10 and let me know what your answer is whenever you come up with
For the
it.
10, I got 52,860.
Okay, I agree. How about for the nearest 100 whenever you got it?
Would it be 53,000?
So 100, look at, you're looking at the
Oh, right,
8.
100.
Yes.
It would be.
And if you're not, if you're not writing the two numbers on the right or somewhere on your paper, I mean, that would be good to do.
52,900.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so now try the nearest thousand.
53,000.
Okay, agreed. And how about the nearest 10,000?
50,000.
Yes. Okay. All right. All right, now let's look at some, I'm going to just check here your answers to, do you have any questions about page 2? Any of those that you're not sure?
No.
You think they're all right?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So let me have you try one more of these roundings, and then I'm going to check your answers while you're doing that. So let's have you go to number, I guess this is 7.
7. Okay.
1, 3, 5. Yeah, I think this is 7.
Yeah, 7.
Okay. Yeah. So let me look at your other page while you're doing that. Do you have your nearest 10?
10,880.
Okay, agreed.
100. I got 10,900.
Okay, agreed.
And then for thousands, I got 11. 11,000.
Agreed.
And for the 10,000s, I got 11,000. Or yeah.
Okay, so for 10,000, you go to this digit right here.
Oh, right, because you go next to it, right?
Yes.
I keep thinking like the 0.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
you got, in
it's
this
that.
case, you got to add
Yeah,
10,000 to it.
and that would be 10,000.
Yeah, so I actually really like this because you can easily write the wrong answer if you don't know. So let me snip in this thing here. You've got everything labeled here. All your answers are correct. But what I want to ask you is did you notice how the quadrants go counterclockwise?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things in math and physics that you have to pay attention to, whether they go clockwise or counterclockwise. Someone just decided that they go this direction. So that's why we remember it that way. All right, well, with the little bit of time we have left, let's go look at some order of operations problems. I'm going to snip in 5 and 6. And as a reminder, we talked about this last time, you want to multiply and divide before you add and subtract. But when there's just addition and subtraction, you just work them left to right.
Okay.
Okay, so here you're gonna 12 minus 5 is
12 minus 5. 7.
okay, plus 3,
10.
10. Good.
Okay.
And then the one on the right, go ahead and work out the one on the right on your own, please.
Okay, I got 13.
Yep. Perfect. All right, let's do a couple more here. I'm just moving down the page though to 9 and 10.
Okay.
So again, you've got, whenever you have the operations that are kind of the undoing of each other, like multiplication, division, you just work them left to right.
Mhm. Uh, 20
So 4 times 6,
Oh, right. 4 times 6. 24.
24 divided by 2 times 5. And again, you just keep working it left to right. What's 24 divided by 2?
24 divided by 2.
Yes.
Hang on. Divided by 2 times. Okay, it would be 12.
Okay. Times 5.
5 would be
So 5 times
60?
2 is 10. Yeah, 60. Good. All right. Hey, is your mom around or your dad around real quick for some
Yeah.
feedback?
Here, hang on. Hang on.
Whoa.
What? Hi, Matthew.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay.
So I just